opinions of W33BY, its affiliate, management, or sponsors. Brothers and sisters, are you tired of reading the Holy Scriptures and not really understanding what you read? And if are you reasonably sure, have you ever tested that what you feel, you know, with someone you may have a different view than your own? Then let's talk.
This conference is being recorded. The recording has started.
Discussion, the Son of Man, a live broadcast every Sunday at 12 noon on TV 33, FM 88, WCR, and Comcast Cable. So why don't you call and let's discuss the Holy Bible, if you have one, the Holy Quran, and come to an agreement about the Holy Scriptures and their true meaning. So tune in for Scriptural Discussion with the Son of Man every Sunday at 12 noon, right here on TV 33, FM 88.1 WCR, and Comcast Cable. You can call in live on the air at area code 313-868-4336, 868-0342, and 868-0351. Of course, the area code is 313. That's 313-868-4336, 868-0342, and 868-0351. And now let's go live with the Scriptural Discussion with the Son of Man.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, the Truthful, and the Most Just, I greet all of you once again who have the hunger and thirst for righteousness, which is found in the instruction in righteousness, which is what the Holy Scriptures refer to themselves as. All Scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. All of our lives, we have been given instruction and graded. In other words, judged on the instructions. If you took a driver's test, there was instructions that you had to obey. When you went to get your license, they judged you on how well you followed instructions. You are in the day of judgment now. That's why I'm speaking to you. There couldn't be no judgment if the instructions wasn't made clear. So I greet all of you who hunger and thirst for righteousness with the greeting words of peace and paradise. May Allah's salam alaikum. We are trying our best to do like the local bus or the local train. Stop at every stop. Don't leave nobody that want to get on. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad why is that thing froze up? Sir? Well, that's why we have a monitor, so we can see what's going on. You all pardon us. We Okay, we're back on. Just give me a minute here. We wanna make sure that everybody get a chance to hear what was said. I may just a moment.
About it. This is what we are here for. To get over to you and acquainted with you of that which God has said to you through me. We want to get acquainted so fast until we are nervous. Our acquaintance means much. For a long time, 40 years, I have been among you, found in this kind of a topic. So there was an end to Noah, found in his topic in his time. There was an end to Abraham and Lot, found in that topic.
It's very important that you understand why I don't have temples all over the earth. Because you think that that's something that means that I must not be the one. And it's just the opposite of what you think. You don't pay no attention to the Holy Scriptures, so you don't recognize that the Holy Scriptures is being fulfilled in your sight, and you don't see it. And that's going to be to your regret that you didn't have the intelligence to respect books that's been around here and outlasted civilizations that those books were in. You sit up and you make all these hateful statements about the Holy Bible and the Holy Quran while you don't have any understanding of either book. And you got nerve enough to sit up talking about whether they that is not a true book or whatever. You're just that foolish. And it's time to put all foolish people off our earth. You're not going to have justification to be foolish today because you have not one that the book says the Spirit of the Lord is on talking to you, but the Lord himself is talking to you. I heard while I was paying a bill today. I think it was while I was out there paying the bill. It was a young lady pulled up next to Brother Morris there and asked him, she told him how nice the sidewalk looked and asked her, "Are you all going to do the whole town?" You should have told her yes. That's the plan. As you support the businesses that enter into your town, it is the business people's responsibility to put some of that money that you spend with them back into your town. If they don't do it, you ought not even support them. Now, I'm just telling you, after knowledge comes to them. Now, some of them don't know no better. But I'm telling you how it's supposed to go.
Yes, sir.
You threw strip mine in our community. Put something back. That's called reciprocity. Anyway, so you think, I hear people ask me, well, where can I go? The temple. What temple? If they say he's in the desert, what? Go not forth. If they say he's in the secret chambers, believe it not. Where you have to go to get sunlight? Stand still, and the sunlight will find you. Is that right? Well, I'm called Son of Man. So we had to, you ain't gonna hear white people trying to argue with me. No, sir. They knew who I was a long time before you did. And now I have argued with enough of them to remove all doubt. Even had him confessing to me. The Jewish rabbi, Miller, he confessed that Judaism is not from God. They made it up. And he did it in front of you. And so so we, because of my presence, you know, what is hail? Hail is frozen water. Is that right? Well, because it was time for my spiritual birth, a great hail from heaven fell upon men. Why? Because once, you know, the water that surrounds a baby is there protecting the baby. But when it's time for the baby to be born, the water that was protected in the baby was formed in, that water, that membrane opens up. And all that water that was just around the baby comes out to make way for the baby. Do you understand? So all this knowledge that you have that's destroying you, the reason it's destroying you is because it wasn't for you. That's my water membrane. That's my water bag that burst. And all this knowledge that you have, this technology that's now, you got so much technology that it outpaces your wisdom. And so, but it was put there so that I could fulfill Scripture, that the whole world be gathered before me. It's called the internet, a worldwide web network. You know, like the interstate. The interstate is a network of highways. The interstate system. Is that right? It connects all of what it does for America, what the railroad was the first thing to do for America. It connects the country together. The internet connects the world together. The proper name of it is International Net. Do you understand? It's like an international airport is a airport that connects flights to other countries and whatnot. But the international network, see, you had never called it by its real name, had you? Now, how did I know? Yeah, it's because it's mine. The earth is the Lord's, the fullness thereof. That means everything in it. So when I said the internet is mine, what? You got a problem with that? So now I'm standing before the whole world and telling them all at the same time, all your religions is a lie. And if you're not submitting to me and following me, you're not a Muslim and you're not righteous. The phone can be unmuted by pressing *6. And you can come in here and present your righteousness, and I will show you that you got no righteousness. As I have the yardstick here of righteousness, which is the Holy Scriptures, and I'm the only one that understands them. And the Holy Scripture says, ain't none of you righteous. That's why Allah had to create one. He said, I'm going to create a mortal. Why? Because these mortals ain't right at all. So I'm his firstborn. And that's written. And the reason it says that the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints. That is the messenger, he said, we say that an atom is 1/10,000th of one. Yeah, because all of them, they brought pieces, parts of the mind that would one day take up residence and become whole in one man. And that one man is standing here talking to. It is done. I am Alpha and Omega. And I know that offends many people. You can be offended all you want. You've been offending me for years now. Now I can do something about it. So I want those who love righteousness as I do. I want you to know people through persecuting us, people through messing over you because you won't be righteous. Henceforth, no evil deed will go unpunished. Now, I hope you heard that. So you best get in here and get forgiveness. And you better get in these classes. So now, I'm telling you, I told you, you're not going to be protected from eating pig no more either. And you keep eating pig, that pig going to kill you. The worms, they ain't going to die no more. So you do what you want, but don't say I didn't want it. Now, and I did it in an open forum that anybody, a doctor, a scientist, or whoever, if he can show you, come in here and show you and me that I'm wrong for what I just said, I gave him $20,000. They know pig is poison. They even serve it to you in the hospital. Ain't that something? My poor people. We couldn't get nothing decent to eat to end slavery. So we started eating what they threw away. The pig guts. You call them chitlins. That's what his boo-boo go through. And we eating the hog's bowel tract. And you notice it's real had to chew it forever, huh? And we start carrying on so much about it, the devil started going back getting that. So I want you to know that this is the day of judgment. Now, I want you to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. You know, you had never seen a messenger of God up close and personal until the Honorable Elijah Muhammad came here. Then you got a chance to see what Moses was like, what David was like, what Jesus was like, what all of them was like. When you seen one, you seen all. And then I tell you what, you seen one eagle, a bald eagle, you seen them all. Huh? You seen one lion? You know what to expect next time you see one. That's why you get out of his way. If you live to get out of his way that first time. Is that right? You see, I don't care what creature you see. Once you see one dog of a certain type, one bulldog, you know what all bulldogs is. Is that right? When you see one messenger of God, you've seen us all. And as you did to the least of them, before I came here, before I was born, that was me. And the thing that most of you that are ignorant of the Holy Scriptures don't realize is that the Scripture told you that before I was born. The Scripture said that I would say that to you. When you ask, when did we lynch you? Or when did we mistreat you? When did we murder you? What did we do to you? As you did it to the least of these, my brethren, the prophets of God, you did it to me. If someone stomp your foot, who says ouch? The head does, doesn't it? Yes, I'm the head of Christ. Know ye that the Lord, He is God, and the head of Christ is God? No, you through mocking us. You can be black as tar, white as snow. You through mocking us. You do so now to your own peril. That's what they tell you when you go in their court. You get found in contempt of court, you come in court in contempt, you do so to your own peril. So I want you to listen, because he warned you. They thought that they would be happy when the messenger wasn't here no more. Didn't he tell you wasn't nobody coming after him but God?
Yes, sir.
He even told you who the God would be. He said, who will judge? Who will? Now here we are today on trial before the God. Before the God who will judge us all. Who will this God be? The Son of Man. You never took the time to listen. And the word was with who? You ever heard any man stand up like I do in front of the whole world and make all of the scriptures agree with him? Has that ever happened? Before me, there was no God formed. Neither shall there be after me. That's what's written. So now listen.
Since Adam and Gomorrah, people at that time, and also came an end to Moses and Aaron, found in that prophet, the Pharaoh and his people. These kind of prophets is the mouth of men and the words proceeding from their mouth. These are the first prophets that sound, called an easy sound, because they come from man's mouth. The other prophet is not heard directly from the mouth. It passes through some mechanical instrument. That's the kind of prophet I'm warning you to be aware of. They are lifting it up now. That's the kind of prophet I'm warning you. The other prophet is not heard directly from the mouth. It passes through some mechanical instrument. That's the kind of prophet I'm warning you to be aware of. They are lifting it up now. Don't forget that you are in the time that has been kept hidden from you by the enemy of the time. Instrument. Heard directly from the other prophet is not heard directly from the mouth. It passes through some mechanical instrument.
You notice the internet. The computer is a mechanical instrument. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And the internet is has made the world into one community. Oh, community of jinn and men. Were not my messages recited to you? Now it can be asked, Allah raised me up in the nation of Islam, in the so-called or said nation of Islam. That's what the messenger called it. He said, what is the birth record of the said nation of Islam? He said, the said Nation of Islam don't have no birth record. It ain't been born yet, in other words. Why? Because it have no beginning nor ending. That's not the way he said it. He said the said Nation of Islam has no birth record. It has no beginning nor ending. But he knew that that was enough for me. Since the meaning of Islam is entire submission to the will of God, well then, 50,000 years ago, one of our gods, but we had more than one. They didn't rule all of them at the same time, but they collectively were the rulers, and there was 12 of them. And those 12, they always had a student with them. They passed that knowledge and kept it in that circle of 12, which made 24. A student and a teacher, a major and a minor scientist. And so one of the 12, he, when they were talking, he told them that he could make a people that would be so strong that nothing could defeat them. And from that people, we could produce one who would bring an end to us being ruled by 12, and we would be ruled by only one. And so they told him and said, well, you go and make your man, but don't make him here. They wasn't gonna help. Yes.
You had told us that Yaqub did not know all of what was in the man-made day.
No, he knew that there was a brown germ and a black germ. And he found that after that brown germ, there was still, there was some more people, yellow, before you get to white. And then look at all of the people that's done came about from mixing them. No, he didn't know all that was in there.
My question is, did Mr. Shabazz know when he said that he could?
Mr. Shabazz knew what the end would be. It's like, I tell you what, if you've seen a movie, haven't you noticed you can look at the movie and you know what the end of it gonna be? And you might miss some of them parts in the middle, but it don't interest you too much because you know what the end gonna be. Do you understand? You don't waste time on a lot of details when you know what the end gonna be. That's all he was interested in, is the end. That's all I meant. You notice, when you be talking to me, a lot of times you tell me what you need and start explaining. I say, I don't need to hear all that. Just, you told me what the end is. That's all. And so I'm either agreeing with it or not. I don't need no, you can't. Intelligent people. Who is that with their phone off mute?
Man.
Wait until I finish answering this brother's question here before you take your phone off mute and ask me questions. Because that is rude. Don't do that. Now, the intelligent people, an intelligent leader, let me say it like this. A leader who is up to the job that he has never tries to micromanage his help. He don't have time for that. He learns to, a part of leading is knowing how to delegate authority. You delegate authority, and from time to time, you check. You get a report or you check. But as far as telling the man, if you think the man is qualified to do something, well then, you delegate him to do it, so you don't have to worry about it. Do you understand? What is the point of delegating somebody to do something, then you got to worry about it still getting done? You put the wrong person in charge, or you don't know what you're doing. Get out the way and let the man do what you told him to do. And then get a report later. And even when you're giving him a report, he don't need to hear all of the intricate details. So, it's much more to lead. There's no such thing as making a leader. That's what they teach you. They teach you to lie. The white man lied to you. You can't make a leader. You don't make a diamond. You cut and polish the diamond. And the ones that they make in the lab, they ain't worth nothing. I think they call them cubic zirconium or whatever. What is it? But anyway, they know that thing ain't the real thing. So, but it suffices for people who not interested in the real thing. But there ain't nothing like the real thing. As you notice, if Muhammad Ali had taught me to do the shuffle and to punch and dance like him in the ring, he could teach me that. But he couldn't teach me when to use the shuffle. I'd have to know that on my own. Then that's the difference in someone who's born to something and someone who thinks that they can be made. Nobody had to teach me how to put the scriptures together. You might can quote them, but you don't know what to do with them. You ain't never going to be the Son of Man. I'm the Son of Man, period. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't make me the Son of Man, and Master Farad Muhammad didn't either. Didn't he tell you they saw the sign of my birth?
Yes, sir.
So he brought the knowledge of myself to me. That's what he had to do. He had to come and raise me from mental death. And that's what they did. And so it's like people got offended because I said that Master Farad Muhammad, when the man asked me, are you saying Master Farad Muhammad is not your God? I said, that's right, he's not my God. Why? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told you that the truth is the black man's God. He told you that. And he told you that Master Farad Muhammad's father made him to come here and seek out that lost member. And then he said, our God is not a made God. Our God is a created God. He said, and I hope you understand. It ain't my fault that these hypocrites out here didn't listen. It's their fault.
Yes, sir.
Because the Holy Quran says when Allah's messages are being recited, remain silent and listen to its recitation. They're making so much noise sometimes, the messenger said, you're going to need some gloves on to pat your hands. He said, we got a lot of it. No. You ain't gonna get through with this in no few minutes. You know, when people want you to hurry up and get through, they start clapping. They'll clap you off the stage. Do you understand? So, you know, I mean, he was familiar with all of the signs and stuff that when people get impatient with you, they thought he should get out the way. So Farrakhan and all of them, they was all thinking they supposed to take over. And you see what happened when the messenger wasn't here. They couldn't stay woke, could they? You see? So now, Mr. Shabazz knew that locked up inside of us was an unlimited potential. You know what makes you know that? Since once you learn that mind, M-I-N-D, once you really understand that mind is over matter, then you know that the potential of man is unlimited. Why? The universe itself is out there, and it's unlimited. You see? And we put matter in this form. God dwells in temples, not made with hands. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God? Man, you just, it's, you know, once your head is on straight, the head brings the whole body into oneness in light. Huh? The head thinks it, the body does it. And they're so in tune with each other that it's like all of the members of the body can think. And they really are thinking because the head and the body is one. As long as the head is woke, the whole body wakes up. Yeah. So it's just a matter of getting the circulation, getting the blood circulating. If you got a member that won't move, whatnot, that's because the blood needs to circulate. Get it circulating, and then it'll start moving and obeying the orders of the head. Is that right? Yeah, I know. You know too. You see? So all of you who submit to me, you are becoming a new creation. The mind that's in you is being made like mine. Do you understand? So we communicate with each other. You see? You know? We're not going to have no failure to communicate. You know, we all going to be on the same page. You see? Right now, sometimes we be so in tune with each other you think about me and I'll call you. I'll think about you and you call me. And that's just the way it is. You know, we getting in tune with each other. You know, it made me happy for the sister to ask us, y'all gonna do the whole town? I want them to ask us that. And our answer is yes, ma'am. I told you we want to make our women and children proud of us as men. When they start looking to us, they're going to stop saying well, I wonder what they going to do. Next, they're going to be saying, what we going to do next? Yes. Once it start being what you think we ought to do next? Well, we on our way then. Oh, yeah. So I got plans, and they include all my people. Don't never make no plans. A leader ain't got no business making plans if it don't include all of those that say he care for. You know, it just don't make sense. I don't want to see some of us do well. I want all of us to do well. Yeah. And once the people see that I really mean that, I ain't going to ask for no money. Whatever extra they get, they're going to give it to me. Because investing in me is better than investing in the stock market. Your dividends is sure to come. And it won't crash either. Yeah. So just be patient. And some of y'all already know that. So, you know, now we have believers sending me help that they know I can do something with. And believe me, I'm doing something. You'll see pretty soon. But at the same time, I don't want to take off and lead the people behind me. You got to let people keep up with what you're doing. You know, we don't want to leave nobody. But this ain't no express train. This is local. So we make stops. You know, you notice when I'm talking now, the brother that unmuted his phone, did you get your answer? Yes, sir. Okay. Now the brother that unmuted his phone, now you can unmute it again. What was the question you was about to ask me, brother?
Yes, sir, son of man.
Yes, sir.
I was gonna ask when Yakub was given the command to leave and make his man somewhere else, did the 12 to the 13 or 24, 23 rather ever collaborate with him ever again?
Well, actually, it wasn't Yakub that was told to make his man somewhere else. That was Mr. Shabazz. And Mr. Shabazz, he never, according to what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us, Mr. Shabazz, he didn't go back and collaborate with them because they wasn't interested in helping him. And so he took his family or his tribe into what is called Africa today. And he began his making of his people. Yakub, he helped Mr. Shabazz finish what he started. The first thing he did was made a people that nothing could defeat. That's white people. As far as fighting and knowing how to overpower people, that was them. Yaakov, he made them. And when he was asked, when he said, I'm going to place a ruler in the earth. This is in the 2nd chapter of the Holy Quran. Anyone that wants to argue with me about it, you're welcome to do so. I'm not afraid of what I'm teaching. You know, anytime a person is teaching something that your knowledge seems to contradict, if that person say they want to convert you, well, then they better be ready to argue. The messenger said scientists don't have to take a whole book. They take one word and argue over one word and have you looking for something to prove what you say. So, you know, I've learned during the past 40-something years of doing this, I've learned to appreciate constructive argument. I just can't appreciate people coming in and hurling insults for no reason. Just because you disagree with somebody, don't mean you have to insult them. You keep your insults to yourself. Me coming into my living room, boo-booing on the rug. If you have something of knowledge that seems to contradict me, then feel free to present it. But anyway, in the Holy Quran, in chapter 2, verse 30, it says, when thy Lord said to the angels, I'm going to place a ruler in the earth. Oh, you know, but most people don't realize that the mind itself is God. You heard Jesus say it like this. He said, God is a spirit. And he taught Nicodemus, he said, that which is born of the spirit is spirit. Then he said, the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit. And they are life. L-I-F-E. Okay. Whatever way of life you choose, you got to first get words that you have to first get words that will allow you to understand that particular way of life. And once you get the words that inform, look at the word, inform. Inwardly form the mind in you that will allow you to practice that way of life. You need words to do that. Do you understand? And once you have the word, we call words when we have them complete, when we have a complete school of thought. Look at the term, school of thought. You'll notice when you see a school of fish, you see fish, more than one, a group of fish that swim as one. Is that right? And they swim as though they have one mind, don't they? A school of thought is collective thoughts that form one mind. Do you understand? All of those thoughts actually belong to a mind that you are trying to form inside of yourself. Do you understand? Okay. So I want you to look, we don't, why is it so important to teach the brotherhood of man, it is because we need all of the human beings that currently live. We need them to continue to live. Because we're getting ready to, for lack of a better word, colonize our universe. Because we are about to perfect ourselves so that we won't take war and mischief out into the universe. And so that's what's going to happen. You know, but anyway, let's get back to Yaqub. Now, Yaqub, he said, I'm going to place a ruler, a mind, in an earthen vessel. Mr. Shabazz had already left the foundation of I make a people that nothing could defeat. Yaqub knew what that was about. And he said, when he said he was going to do that, the other scientists, the angels, they said, wilt thou place in it? Will you place a mind in an earthen vessel that will make mischief and shed blood in the earth or in the land? While we celebrate your praise and we extol, we hold in high esteem your holiness. You know what he told them? He said, that's all right. I know something you don't know. He said, surely, I know, I understand something that you don't. They knew he was finna make a devil. I didn't say a devil. I should have said the devil. They knew he was finna to make the devil. And they didn't know why. Remember, that knowledge was not something that was passed around to everybody. It was kept in a circle. So Yaqub, he said, surely I understand what you understand not. And so he taught Adam all the names. You notice the book says the first man, Adam, was made of what? Who did we learn all the names of all of the creatures and stuff? When you ask what is that, who comes and tell you what it is? The white man. He tell you the name of it. Is that right? So as the messenger taught me, he said, honor and respect the man, because you are honoring a ruler. That's what he told me. That's why you can't find no white folks. You notice when you thought I ought to cuss out the Ku Klux Klan, the national director, that man came in here, and for the most part, he was civilized. He was civil in his conversation with me. Then why should I disrespect him? And even if he wasn't, I wasn't going to disrespect him, because I'm a civilized man. You know, I don't disrespect a child. If they talking to me, I respect them. It don't take nothing from you to be an example of what you teach. So the first man, Adam, was made a living soul, and as in Adam, all died. white man know as much about righteousness as a monk can know about being a pilot. He knows that. That's why he don't try to teach it in his public school. He know he can't teach righteousness. And those who might have studied long enough to know the rulers, of them, that they take an oath not to tell nobody. See, now it don't make no difference. I'm here now. And so, everybody now got a choice they got to make. Submit to me or not. If you submit, you will live. If you do not, you will die. That's just a simple choice. So this mind that I'm offering you, what is a mind other than a way of understanding things? That's what the scripture was simply saying. Say, let this mind be in you. You couldn't let it be in you before the teacher showed up. So Allah created a mind in me to be able to teach you. Allah is the truth. And the truth, when the man who was born to receive it made the appearance, which is myself, then the Lord would take up residence in his holy temple. Son of Man, take the book and eat it up. He never said that to nobody else. He never told you to eat nothing. He told the Son of Man to take the book. I invited you to my supper. Blessed are they that are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. They even use the word called. Well, that's what you have to do. You have to call into the conference room, don't you? Yeah. It's no accident that them conference lines were set up. Allah was setting them things up for me before I even knew I needed them. You know how much a long distance call used to cost? I know. So I used to have to pay it. $800 and some a month to teach like I'm teaching. My phone bill stayed at least $800 a month. But how many times did you ever hear me ask you to help me pay a phone bill? You didn't hear me out here begging nobody for no money. I ain't never felt right having to beg people for nothing. No. Now I know why. That was the nature in me teaching me, you got no business begging nobody. You're the Lord. The only first time I asked any of you for any money was when I was building something that you was going to benefit from. I told you, hey, I need you to help me get some material here. I didn't ask you to pay me for no labor. I asked you to help me buy the material so that I can do this. And that's all I do now. I haven't asked you to pay me for no labor. I've asked you to give me some funds so I can build for you. So, Yaqub, he made the devil and told the devil, he said, you go and make all the mischief that you can for 6,000 years. 6 days shall you labor and do what? What did he say when his Lord made him? He said, my Lord, as you have judged me to be Aaron now, I'm going to go out. I'm going to make evil fair seeming to them on earth. And I'm going to cause them all to deviate. What have white people been doing with evil? Making it look okay. Here they got a place they call it Sin City. And you still go there. And you gamble and you take vacations. And then you go back to church telling people what a good time you had in Sin City. And now you're sitting there with a pitiful grin on your face, trying to figure out how to say something back to me. But he made evil fair seeming to you. Look how he got you now. You're fighting to legalize marijuana. You're fighting to legalize it. Got marijuana cookies.
Yes, sir.
And tasty treats. You got the munchies, huh? Yeah. I mean, he done made it all fair seeming to you. Even got you praying for the successful persecution or prosecution of wholesale murder. They just call it war. But they're sending you off to go murder people. And he keeps you fighting with each other. The wealthy devil, the one who's stealing everything that you got. Let me show you something. You heard me tell you this before. Who does America belong to? Who fought for America's independence? Farmers and patriotic citizens, right?
Yes, sir.
And they even got a song that says, "This land is your land, this land is my land." From I don't know the rest of it, but I think that's a pretty song. And from California to the New York Islands. Well, it said, "This land belongs to you and me." White people composed that song. But the devil, and when I say the devil, I ain't talking about the skin. Skin don't scheme. Skin obeys the schemer. You go by his color because you didn't know who was up under that color. See, I remember, unlike you think I hate W.D. Muhammad. I didn't hate W.D. Muhammad. I hated what he was doing. Now I realize, that it was necessary. Because the nation was full of hypocrites. I remember he said, some of y'all, you say, well, you let the devil in the temple. He said, no, I let the devil out. A lot of times you think that, how many of y'all saw X-Men, The Last Stand? Okay, remember Gene? Remember when what's his name? The Logan. Remember Logan was talking to the Professor Xavier about Gene, and the professor was saying he was trying to keep the beast caged inside of her mind. And Logan tried to judge him and say, so without her knowledge, so you controlling her. And he said, you have no idea what she's capable of. And most of us we saw many officials in the nation with questionable actions, and yet we still allowed them to be over us because the messenger was here. And all authority was by his permission. And so when WD took over, our suspicions that we tried to throw out of our mind, we saw that those suspicions were well founded, because we saw officials no longer being afraid to let what was really in themselves come out. Do you understand? I mean, I was surprised when I heard Mr. Farrakhan confessing that he was sitting up at the messenger's table thinking the messenger was jealous of him. I mean, what? And you tell me, I loved him, but I had a weak thought. That wasn't a weak thought. That was hypocrisy. Now you're gonna make your evil fair seeming to me. No, you ain't. Your evil thought that you entertained about your Lord ruined you. That's what the Holy Quran says. So anyway, the devil, he told his maker, Yaqub, he said, I'm going to make evil fair seeming to them on earth and cause all of them to deviate. And so I said it like that so you would understand. For Yaqub actually became them. His name was changed to Israel. Yeah. And so, then he told him that's the right way with me. And said, now as regards to my servants, the angels, thou hast no authority over them. Why? Well, they know who you are. You can't. Well, what did Jesus tell him when he was up in the mountain showing him all the kingdoms? He said, get there behind me, who? I know who you are. I can't be bound down to you. And so he had no authority over them, except such of the deviators as follow you. Huh? Okay. So he's been making evil fair seeming to people on earth, just like you notice he get you drinking alcohol, and then he wait outside the club with his red light on, his blue light on the top of his car, and wait on you to take off. Then he give you a ticket or take you to jail. He make money off of you following him, and you can't drive with an open container in your car. I mean, it's all kind of things, but he sell it to you, and so then. Let me see what else he do. He sell you cigarettes and get you hooked on them, and then he tell you he got something that he gonna sell you to help you stop. But he the one hooked you on them in the first place. If you look at the people who fighting, all of them getting weapons from the same place. I mean, the weapon manufacturer is the biggest business on the planet, and all of them participate in keeping ignorant people fighting among themselves. I'm just telling you. Peace would cause the collapse of this world. If everybody stopped fighting, what the Do you know how many manufacturing plants would go out of business? They need you to be a fool. They need you to be a devil. They need you to be a murderer. They need you to be somebody who don't love his brother. And so one of the first things they did to make sure that would happen is that they made up a bunch of false religions. Remember Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade? You remember when they went in the place where all them cups were, looking for the true cup of Christ? And the guardian of it, he told him, the true cup, if you drink from it, carries life. If you drink from the false cup, it will kill you. You notice the religion that I'm teaching you is the only religious teaching that forbids you to pick up weapons. We're not going out here trying to kill nobody. We take truth and we hurl it against falsehood. We speak truth without fear against falsehood. Whenever you are trying to speak the truth and you are fearful, you're the wrong one to speak it. You see? Because people are known to growl at you and roar at you and even threaten your life. I remember a fella threatened my life when I first got on the air in Detroit. Told me he's going to blast my head open. I gave him my address. Sure did. You see, unlike you, I truly trust in my God. I truly do believe that Allah has power over everything. And just like I don't have to literally see Allah the way with my physical eye, I already know that my eyes ain't what comprehends God. Vision comprehends him not. How I know that? Because I've looked at my form in the mirror and I ain't never seen my mind staring back at me. The mind that's really me, I can't see with the physical eye. I see it with the mental. And I see it growing and growing and growing. Do you understand? Yes. And so, Allah, is omnipresent. Present everywhere at once. No place can you go that the truth is not already there waiting on you to get there. And all you can do is discover the truth. You do not create the truth. The truth creates you. So these people who walking around here that all they can do is shed blood, they through. If all you can do to somebody is blow their brains out or shed their blood, and you can't do nothing else, you ain't got no power. What about him who can have you walking around like a zombie? You can't kill him. He can punish you and is about to punish you. Just like that. That's how you're going to be walking around here in a little while. So, Yaqub, he made that people made the devil, and that jump-started the spiritual immune system. You notice the books that we call Holy Scriptures, the oldest one is just 4,000 years old. This is new knowledge, relatively speaking. The prophets were the answer to the devil. Like antigens in your, when you get cancerous growth in your prostate, those prostate specific antigens begin to multiply to try to fight that cancerous growth. Is that right? Okay, well, the prophets, they were the answer to the devil. You see, that's what Jacob knew that they didn't know. And if you have a physical immune system, you have a spiritual immune system. And so the spiritual immune system went into overdrive. And, all of the evil that they was doing, we sent warner after warner. Huh? The prophets came warning them, stop what you're doing. Do unto others as you like others to do unto you, and stop trying to do what you doing to people. Huh? And so some of them, they listened, and they what you call had remission. Their sin went into remission, like cancer going into remission when you produce enough antigens or whatnot to kind of stop it. But it started up again, it flared up again, because that's what he is. He's the devil. They could not reform him. They could only grant respite to him. And that's what respite was. When sin went into remission, then his civilization and his way he was granted respite. Do you understand? Okay. So this is what's written. He said, my Lord, respite me till the day when they are raised. And Allah told him, he says, surely you are of the respited ones until the period of time made known. Jesus, when he was here, he said, of all that was given me, I have not lost any, but the son of perdition. Out of Egypt, I call my what? Son. Out of black people, Yaqub called the son of perdition. Do you understand? And as in Adam, as in the white race, everybody became sinful. Everybody died and lost the knowledge of goodness, and that knowledge was replaced with self-righteousness. You see, nobody arguing with me. He can't even form the thought in his mind of how to start an argument with me on what I'm saying. The messenger told you that I was coming and that you would not be able to put no cloud between me and you. You wouldn't be able to use no prophet and their teachings to buffer, to stand in between us and try to make the prophets argue with me. They won't argue with me. They bear me witness. Like I just made the messenger bear me witness again. So Yaqub, he knew that eventually that the need and the yearning. That's why that's where Abraham's seed came into play. Abraham didn't want his seed serving nobody but God, the true God. Jacob either. But if you turn Abraham's seed over into the hands of the devil, he knew. I remember Jacob called when he was making his people, getting ready to make them, he looked up at his uncle. He said, "Uncle, when I get to be an old man, I'm going to make a people that will rule you." And his uncle said, "What will you make but something that will make mischief in the land and shed blood?" And Jacob said, "Well, nevertheless, uncle, I know something that you don't know." And so, you notice, white folks stay in the South, especially, once they had us and we got old, instead of calling us boy and girl, they call us uncle and auntie.
Yes.
I said, "Uncle, when I get to be an old man, I'm gonna make a people that'll rule you." So he ruled us. Do you understand? And so, well, we let him rule. But because we needed to produce that man that Mr. Shabazz said he could make after making these people, he said, from them, we can produce one that would be so wise that we would no longer be ruled by 12, but we would have only one. Can you ever wonder what he was talking about in Revelation when he said, "It is done, I am Alpha and Omega"? You didn't ever wonder, because you didn't understand. But now before you wonder, I done answered it for you. It is done. I am Alpha and Omega. I'm the first man, Adam, and I'm the last Adam. I'm the product of both. And so where you thought that the devil was Allah's enemy, the devil ain't never been Allah's enemy. The devil has been man's enemy. Why? Well, what man's enemy has he been? You say black man. No. All men. A corrupt mind is the enemy of whatever flesh houses it, and it will destroy that flesh. So, the white man being destroyed by the mind that gave him dominion. He got dominion over everything but the mind that gave him dominion. He can't control himself. And if he don't let me, he's doomed. If he don't let me save him, he's doomed. You see? Now listen to that. What do you hear? What does that tell you about white people who listening to me? Their silence is a witness that they know I'm telling the truth. One of the reasons why they never did allow us to take part in their social equality was because he knew that if he let us really intermingle with him, we'd see how filthy he was in all of his affairs. And he couldn't have tricked us and got us to the point where now we willing to do everything we see him do. But he gradually made evil fast seeming to everybody. You know, it's like that old, I don't know if it's a Chinese proverb or not, but they said it was. But you know how they lie. They say you put a frog in hot water, he'll leap out. But if you put him in cool water and gradually turn up the heat, he'll cook to death because he won't know when to leap out. Yeah. You see? So there was a time when you would have frowned on, look how you used to frown on homosexuality. Now it seems fair to you. The devil made evil fair seeming to you. What devil? He said a white man. No. The wicked mind that's in you. You see? So WD, he shared that with me. He said, you're looking for the devil. He said, the devil wears colors like you do clothes. And now I didn't even go to the temple, and I heard that, brothers used to tell me things that he said. I never met the messenger. I only heard what he taught. I never went and sit down with the messenger. There's a lot of children who never met their fathers. I never met Jesus. I never met Moses. I never met any of the prophets. But I'm their son. So, I didn't meet George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. But they were my fathers too. You can tell that every time you check my teachings. You find some of their genetic coding in my words. Ain't that how they check to see whose child you are? They look in your blood. Yeah. So, it's just like Master Farad Muhammad. He was a sign of me. He was a physical representation of me spiritually. For he was a physical product of black people and white people. I'm the spiritual product of black people and white people. You see? And the first child that his father had was a girl. Well, the first one that he produced was the female. That's why the messenger gave everybody an X and turned you into eggs. Don't the woman carry the X chromosome? The female. The messenger said this. He said that he wanted a different human being than himself. So he made a woman by studying himself. Well, Master Farad Muhammad, when he taught the messenger, he said, if you can find one, Elijah, that you can teach it all to, I will widen your circle. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said he was that woman in Revelation. And he told everybody, he said, now this, you know how the woman is. She don't want nobody coming around her, a good woman. She don't want nobody coming around her but her husband. And around her son, she's careful about her son. You remember the messengers said, if we swung that door back on its hinges and let the world in here, you wouldn't have standing room. He said, but they haven't been used to ruling, and you have not been used to ruling. He said, you could be easily cheated. He said, so we don't let them in here. He said, this is for the little baby, the little black baby. Yeah. And he told me, he said, I'm coming to you and giving this to you in a way that you can master what I'm giving you. He said, it does no good to give a person something that they cannot master. He said, but the way I'm giving it to you, you can master it, and you'll be just as big a boy as I am. He said, not saying that I'm the big boy. He said, but I'm trying to make you the big boy. Then I will get behind the door and peep out at how you will react. You see? And so that is a good way of putting it. He had to awaken me to who I am. He said he was here to teach the black man the knowledge of himself. And now I know who I am. Do you understand? And I'm not afraid to stand in front of the whole world and tell them, I am your Lord. And you better get ready for it. And you better get used to it. And I don't mean you no harm. I don't want to take anything from you. But evil, I want to take that away from you. And if you let me, I will. I'll make you a new creature. When you change a person's mind, you change the whole person. When you put a suit of clothes on somebody, you haven't changed the person. If you put a tuxedo on a pig, he's still a pig. But that's the difference. A pig is not a being. He can never be changed from what he is. We are beings. And the state of our mind determines our natural state. If you want to change the state of being, change the state of the mind that's in the being. And you have changed the being. We are the only creatures in creation that actually can be whatever the word dictates. You can be doctor, you can be airplane pilot, you can be astronaut, you can be scientist, you can be whatever. No other creature can claim that. That's right. Stop hating each other. Help one another to do right, and forbid one another to do wrong. Hast thou considered my servant Job? He is a perfect and an upright man that fears God and forbids evil. That's what a Muslim is. A Muslim is someone who fears to displease God and forbids all evil. Forbids himself to do evil and warns his brother. Do you understand? You can forbid evil to yourself, and you have a duty to warn or admonish your brother or sister against the evil that you see them do. Do you understand? And you do not offer them a hand. You cut off the hand from the evildoer. Do you understand? Okay. And so Yaqub, he knew that by making the devil, that we, and giving Abraham seed, that's why he said, when I get to be an old man, Because it's going to take a wise devil. He got to grow before he can get Abraham's seed and trick him. Huh? And so an Abraham's seed had to be put to sleep. A deep sleep had to fall on him. Huh? Remember this, the scripture says our friend Lazarus is sleeping. Come, let's go and awake him. And when the book says, as in Adam, all died, it didn't say all died except Abraham. It said all died. Well, in a deep sleep, spiritual death fell upon Abraham. Well, how did that death fall? When they tricked us into following them back over here thinking we was going to be paid to help them build up a civilization. The architects and the king and some of the architects came over here and they tricked them. And then it was just a matter of going back after he had bound the king and the ruler. He entered into the strong man's house. That's what they refer to black men over their nation. They call him strong man. Remember they used to call Gaddafi strong man, Muammar Gaddafi. That was just a hint of who they was dealing with, black people. He said, was the black man, he never had what you call a democracy. The black man has always had a benevolent dictatorship as a government. And if you studied anything about political science, you know that they teach, at least they used to, I don't know what they're teaching there now, but they used to teach you that the best form of government is the benevolent dictatorship. Because when you have a benevolent or a merciful and kind king, then whatever is troubling you, it don't have to go through no committee or whatnot. Once it's brought to the king's attention, he can put a stop to it. Do you understand? So that is the best form of government. That's the way your body is. If you step on a nail, it don't have to have no committee. You immediately take your foot off and bring some kind of soothing and some kind of aid to that injured member. That happens immediately. Right? It don't get no better than that. You see? So that's why this morning when they was talking, I was talking with Miss Ramsey, and we were having a discussion about getting into the system and learning the system of white people. I told her I told them that's like a frog. Tomorrow he gonna get inside of a snake and learn about his system. Once you get inside of him, you are becoming a part of nourishment for his system. And you're about to be destroyed. You have went into your own destruction. Look what getting into America's system have done for us. It's destroyed us. They never accepted you as an equal to them. They use you and me until they use us up. That's why no matter how they let you get into what you think, get into their system and get involved in their economics and stuff, you haven't never been really involved in their economic system. You have been held out. They let a few of us get wealthy to hold us out there to give false hope to the rest of us. To make us think that we can do like, our sister Oprah. Or like, so you know what? You got 200 or 300 millionaires or 1,000 millionaires out of 40-something million black people. What is 1,000 millionaires? What is 10,000 billionaires black in America? Nothing but a bunch of individual slaves that the white man done let get wealth, but none of that wealth ever finds its way back to the black community in the way of aiding their own people. Because if he starts to do that, they do to him what they was doing to Dr. Cosby. What they doing to Dr. Cosby now, or what they did to Michael Jackson. Murdered him after he wasn't so big a fool as to let Sony make a fool out of him. And he wind up with no stock and owning them. And he boasted about it. Next thing you know, he was dead. Get behind me. They won't be killing you. You don't have to fear them. So, as you notice that fella called up one of the black congressmen to threaten him if they impeach Donald Trump. Why don't he call his white congressman and threaten them? No, he know who to sell wolf tickets to. That's why I told you I can't have you represent me, because you are afraid. You're too fearful. You will lead me to the slaughter because you are afraid of what will happen to you. No, that's not the kind of leadership we need no more. So the white man, he took Abraham's seed, and then they got us over here in 1555. There was a breeding period. They tried to tell us that we was brought here in 1612. That's a lie. They breeded us for all of those years, so from 55 to that 1612, and left that out of the history book. And they took the children and raised up a whole generation without the knowledge of our history and the knowledge of ourselves, because the parents wasn't allowed to teach them children. They breeded us like you do cattle. Do you understand? And then they put fear in us. A deep sleep fell upon Abram. When you don't know nothing about yourself and the history of yourself, people can tell you anything, so they call us Negroes. You see? And then they began to abuse us and, hold us in bondage for the 400 years. And so all we could do is yearn for freedom. But that was all we could do. We didn't have no knowledge of what freedom really is. For we had never been free. The black man in America has never been free. We have never been independent. So he told us we was free when they say Abraham Lincoln freed y'all. They lied. Abraham Lincoln didn't free us. They didn't give us no land. So they never did set us free. They just turned us loose, and whoever could put us to work. And, he tell you that you're getting paid for your labor. He tricked us again. Because where before he supplied us with a little cabin or whatever and some food and worked us. So now he sell us little cracker box houses that's plenty fine compared to what we was used to. And when you used to having less than nothing, when somebody move you up to what they really consider nothing, if we're making $20,000 a year, we thought we was making some money. And to him, that's nothing. And so when he moved us up to nothing, we thought we had got something. And If you look at poverty level, I think they got that poverty level, what, 30,000 a year? That's below poverty. But anyway, he know how much he pays us. And so he keeps records. It's simple. Just do math. He know what to charge for food. He know what to charge for lights. He know what to charge for gas. And by the time you pay all of them things, he know just about broke again. And you think you working for a living, when all you doing is slaving for him still under the illusion that you are free. Now, if that ain't so, why don't he unmute his phone and let's have a conversation about it? You know, he can school us on what's really going on. Why do I stand up and tell you all of these things? Now, you notice, you all who resent me so much, the things that I've just shared with you had never even came into your mind. And you thought you was awake. Do you know what it means to be awake? What it actually means to be awake is that your head is woke. If the head ain't woke, you sleep. The whole body is asleep until the head wakes up. I'm the one that's awake, and you need to get up under me so that you can be woke too. So, what happened was, by putting Abraham's seed in bondage, they messed around there and created a yearning in Abraham's seed. And by creating that yearning in Abraham's seed, the genes in us began to produce Elijah and the Son of Man. Do you understand? Yeah. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he started teaching approximately 20 years before I was born. And he at one point, he realized that he don't, he couldn't, it wasn't doing no good for him to come out. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. I'm trying to find something. I guess I may be looking in the wrong place. Let's see. Let me scroll a little bit further. It might be in here. We have an awful lot of things that I have put up. And sometimes I can't find. I know it's somewhere, but I try to put little catchphrases so I could search for it. But sometimes it'd be fruitless, and then I find it later. This is let's see. I'm trying to think of what word that I might have put in there that would let's try teach. Here it is. There. See how Allah helps me? Wait a minute. That ain't the one. Let's see. Yeah, I want to get that one too, though. Let's see here. The messenger, as he said, I'm not out here to teach for your money. I bear witness. Me and him both. Let's try often. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong folder. Just a moment. Sometimes I know I had quite a few of them that we have a lot of stored up lessons, and let's see, maybe it was in here. We try our best. Well, I'll find it later and share it with you. I guess Allah want me to share that with you later. But he told the people, he said, you notice I don't come out very often to teach, for I'm forbidden to do so until the proper hour. That was because he had discovered that the one that he was there to teach wasn't there yet. He was feeling for my presence. He learned to feel for my presence when he hadn't felt my presence. And so he let them do a bunch of teaching, let the ministers and stuff do a lot of teaching. And he would just come out from time to time. But when he felt my presence, then he got back up on the rock. You see? And that's how that went. I'll find it. So I know I got it recorded somewhere. I just don't know exactly where I put it. Well, soon I will. I'll find it and I'll let you hear it. But by us yearning, Abraham's seed, it took approximately 400 years of yearning to produce me.
Yes.
So it, like metaphorically, the black nation had to go into labor. The child was there, but you still needed something to push the child out. Do you understand? So the prophets all call me their child or their son. Said, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. Allah gave them a son when he gave them the books. You know, it says, those whom we have given the book recognize him as they recognize their sons. You see, so they call me, all of them call me son of man. You see, so I'm S-O-N and I'm the S-U-N of righteousness.
Yes.
You see, I give light on the light that is called Holy Scriptures. Light upon light. You see, the Holy Scriptures is full of light, but it's darkness to you. And so I'm here to put it in terms that you can understand. None of the other scientists had the knowledge of how to do what Mr. Shabazz knew how to do, and Yaqub, you know, just like a brother asked once, was anyone helped Yaqub? Not really. Yaqub was God alone. A brother asked, why was Yaqub given the right to rule? Because there was no one wise enough to prevent him. That's why. You know, it's just like, why am I given the right to stand up here for hours and hours and teach? And nobody say nothing? It's because nobody is wise enough to say anything. It's not that people are just would like to see me do this, or they being merciful to me. They ain't being no merciful to me. They ain't got no way to argue with me. You know, I'm the best knower. And so, you know, they don't like me saying that, but they can't refute it, because their silence is proof that I know better than they do. You know, and I've had people make all kind of excuses, talking about they would talk to me if I wasn't if I knew how to talk to people. That's a lie. Because anybody that have ever came in here and talked to me, they know that I just stand my ground. I don't refuse to hear what people have to say. It's just that when people say things, I don't let them get away with just sitting up out there lying to me. I question them on what they say. And then they get angry with me because I don't let them get away with a lie. And then they get to the point where since they know they can't lie to me, they just can't.
Your own top of civilization. I say, yes, sir. Just back me up. I'm with you. And he backs me up. And going out and coming in. I'm no more afraid. I'm afraid of nothing but Allah.
See, only a Muslim can talk like that. Now, what in the world? See, now, I told you. I mean, when have you ever heard anybody from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's time afraid to talk to anybody? You notice they don't come in here hollering to talk to me. Stay afraid of me. You got good reason to be. I'm Allah. I'm the best knower among you. I know what I'm saying. I, Allah, am the best knower of the truth among you. The truth is my Allah, and I'm the only one who knows him. And those whom I reveal him to. No man knows who the Son is but the Father, neither any man the Father but the Son, and he to whom the Son will reveal him. If I don't reveal the truth to you, you don't know the truth. If I don't reveal the understanding of this book to you, you don't have it. The revelation of the book, there's no doubt in it, is from the Lord of the worlds, by whom he made the worlds. So, I am the Word made flesh that's now dwelling among you.
Yes.
You follow me, you won't fear. God don't want a coward. Because he's not a coward himself. And he don't want to enlist cowards on his book. No, you must be fearless.
See? I don't want no cowards. Because I'm not a coward. And I ain't got no cowards following me. You notice. You ever seen a meeting of mine and the brothers be sitting there just as calm? And somebody get to clowning and going on? My followers don't jump up. All of them want to jump up for one man. Man ain't doing nothing but talking. You go to some of these other people's place, man get up to argue with their leader, they all want to jump up and gather around him and do what? And you call yourself his brother? You don't feel the need to gang up on your brother. I'll show you some of the conversations I've had with people out the years. I didn't just get this way. I had to learn to be this way. I mean, I used to have some back and forth with people that you wouldn't believe. I'm telling you, it took time to perfect the light of understanding in me to the point where you can't argue with me. As it's written, they seek to put out the light of Allah with their mouths, but Allah will allow naught save the perfection of his light. As the Reverend, this preacher named Abraham, he told me, he said, Brother Morgan, he said, let them keep on knocking you, and you'll be what God wants you to be after a while. In other words, let them keep arguing with you, and you keep arguing back. And as they argue with you, you will learn what you could have said and what you didn't say and what you should have said instead of what you did say. Do you understand? And that's what I've been doing. You know, when me and you have a conversation, I ain't through with that. You might be through with it. But I'm always replaying it in my mind because I'm trying to really help you. You may be trying to destroy me, but I'm trying to help you. It's just like, you know, I tell people all the time, you know, hey, you know, I know you through with so-and-so, but hey, look, I want you to get in touch with him and see how he's acting right now. You know, because I'm not here to keep us at each other, to be enemies. But don't you try to do what I do. If I tell you leave him alone, leave him alone. Yes, you don't see what I see. And when you start thinking you do see what I see, you have made a fool of yourself. There is no other person that see what I see. Even the way I said that, I meant mentally and spiritually. When the scripture says they have eyes and see not, they have ears and hear not. What does that mean? Where are your eyes and your ears located? Okay, the head of every man is Christ. Where you have eyes, you have Christ right here in front of you. And the eyes and the ears are in them. But you can't see him and you can't hear him. Because you don't understand nothing that the prophet said. That's why you got all these fictitious religions. Now, look how plain I made that. You never came to that conclusion without me. How in the world the hand boasting itself against the head? So I'm not here to destroy you. I'm here to save you. And if you let me, I'll save all of you from your sins, from the destructive effect of your sins, of your transgressions against the commandments of God. Because every time you transgress God's command, look at the truth of this. O you who believe, avoid games of chance and intoxicants, for they are tools of the devil to create enmity and hatred between you. You remember I remember when I was in junior high school, and we would be back behind the gym or somewhere. That's why, that song Charlie Brown. That fit a lot of us. Said down on his knees, I know that's him, throwing 7s and 11s down in the boys' gym, Charlie Brown. Huh? Well, them songs was real. We'd be back there gambling. Next thing you know, somebody then used some loaded dice or something and got caught, or somebody didn't want to pay up and say, hey, man, give me my money, take it, nigga, and that kind of thing. And then there you go. That fight never would have happened if we hadn't been gambling. And nobody likes to lose. I mean, when you start winning and he on a roll or whatever, next thing you know, he enjoying it too much. He said, you gonna fade me or what? Look, man, I'm coming. And next thing you know, fighting again. Gambling. Games of chance. Then it was all right. Yeah, how many of y'all had a brother that knew somebody that was all right till he got a few drinks in him? Got a few drinks in him and talking about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Want to fight everybody, right? And then blame it on getting high. Yeah, them intoxicants. So all of us know that is the truth. When I read that in the scripture, avoid games of chance and intoxicants, and that they create enmity between us, that's the tool that the devil uses to keep you fighting each other. I say, yeah, it's true, because we used to really, be getting into it. You go to a party, a man get a little high, and then say the wrong thing to somebody's lady, and there it go. Huh? So, I know that the word of God is true. You see? So we live in a world where evil is made to seem okay. That's the first thing out of people's mouth. Well, it's legal now. What do you mean it's legal now? The white man said it's okay. But that's what they're really saying. Marijuana used to not be okay, right? Yes, right. But now the white man says it's okay, so it's okay, right? You worshiping the devil. Just like Christianity. Christianity is one of the white man's greatest tools to keep you and I under his dominion. That's why he gave you Christianity. And then he gave you himself. And said, it's Jesus. And told you Jesus is God. Yes. And when he gave you a picture of himself, you didn't say, hey, wait a minute, man, wait a minute. No, you went to Walmart and got you a few of them. And went to wherever they said, Kmart, any place, see one, somebody say, I'm gonna paint me a picture. Who is that? That's Jesus. And then when you heard the Honorable Elijah Muhammad say the white man is the devil, you say that's hate teaching. What did he say? Because in your mind, white people was God. And the white man knew that's what he was saying to you subliminally. Subliminal is just another word on a subconscious level. He knew that after teaching you that Jesus was God in the flesh, when he gave you a picture and you didn't say that ain't Jesus, he had you. Even after you read in the scripture to call no man on earth father, for one is your father. And in the Catholic religion, the Christian religion, most people don't realize that the Christian faith is Catholic. The Roman Catholic Church. When you talk about Protestants, those are people who protested some of the Catholic Church's practices or doctrine, and they split off from Catholic, but they still say their religion is Christianity. And if your religion is Christianity, then a Catholic is the head of it, and the Pope is the head of the church. He's the father of the church. He's the father of Christianity, because the white race invented Christianity. You don't hear him saying that's not true. You know why he don't say that's not true? Because he know my next question is, then where did he come from? He'll have a hard road to hoe trying to talk to me about where Christianity came from, because it ain't in the Bible. I mean, that's the book he claimed he believed in, right? Well, you can't find the word Christianity in the Bible. It's not in there. And the term Christian was never used as a term of endearment or a term of respect. It was used like the word Cretan. And the disciples were called Cretans first in Antioch. They were called Christians. And they used to feed them to the lions because they thought they was insane. And so that when they didn't have no insane asylum back then, they just fed crazy people to the lions and say he was full of devils. You know how the white man, they was burning people as witches a little over 500 years ago. What you suppose they was doing 2,000 or 3,000 years ago? So he just most of them. Do you know what a relief I am to them for them to find out the whole truth about their existence, while they was thinking that somebody was going to commit genocide on them, just to find out that, you know, it's like the messenger said. He said, no more can we go around making mock of one another. He said, cut it out. Okay. We all brothers and sisters. Okay. You know, I'm not here to reform the devil. You can't reform no devil. You know, what do you think happens when a caterpillar becomes a butterfly? You think that's a reforming? No, that's a change. He's a completely new creature now. If any man be in Christ, it don't say he's reformed. It says he's a new creature. And the old mind is gone. The old mind I had that used to man, you just don't know. I could have, if you had met me, especially before I came into the knowledge of myself. Yes. Now, I didn't go around just cursing. But if you got me riled up, and you start cussing and swearing, I had some choice words for you to say back to you. I knew how to do all that, and was proficient in profanity, if there is a such thing. You understand what I'm saying? I was proficient in it. Yes, sir. But now, like I tell my followers, I don't want to hear this stuff about somebody made you go off on them and curse and you cursing. Muslims don't do that. No, I don't want to hear that. You don't let no profanity fly out your mouth and call yourself my follower. Control yourself.
Yes, sir.
That's what I do. I control myself. It's not that I don't remember all them words, but the longer I go without using them, the less likely I am to use them inadvertently. Because I just don't express myself that way anymore. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to do that. He took those kind of things out of our mouths. He took cursing and swearing away from us. Let me see here. Listen to this.
You know, there's a few of you would like to try and destroy what Elijah has brought from God to his people for their salvation. Any of you like to do so. Who is Malcolm that you were trying to lift up to the world? What has he done for you? I taught him all the evidence. No. There's nothing they could fix. And enemy who would like our lives. That's all. That he was the Savior of our people. That's right. The whole country didn't know what Malcolm was teaching. That's right. The world know what he was teaching. Who are you trying to put something over on? Right? We know him better than you. I was his teacher, man. And he's trying heels on me. That's right. There's the Bible teaching, son. The man was not an enemy. Right? And I could have protected myself against it. We worship him all more. In the family. That's right. He stuck his feet under my feet and they prayed with me. That's right. Time and again. We stuck money in his pocket. And then give him this freedom. Open his mouth. Analyze me if you want. I give him that. He walked away and began to tell people that he didn't like what I was saying. That's right. That they could get it. That's right. That he didn't believe in it. He criticized the salvation of our people. And did not that wrong. That's right. He wanted to go back and make friendship with white people. He wanted to guide them to be something that they know themselves they was not. He wanted friendship. I would not take this kind of subject up with you, but many of you are here with those who would like to destroy us. And they're using Malcolm for an excuse. Right. We know what he thought. We know he didn't think it. We know what he was up for. But we give him the freedom to do what he did. We did not try to interfere with Malcolm. Especially when he come right in my door. I didn't tell him I thought go out there and kill Malcolm. I wanted him to be brought to an oath by that which he preached. Let God take care of it. I know you don't have a chance against me if God is with me. Lord, certainly he's with me. If he destroy me today, I don't say he wasn't with me. He was with me and he had this done for some other place. Whatever it was, I'm satisfied. But I warn you in my conclusion, leave us alone if you don't like us. Leave us alone. Let you find yourself playing with God. Leave us alone. We will leave you alone. All this that we find that you don't like us, we leave you alone. Leave. Do the same by us. Leave us go. You don't like us, leave us alone. We are absolute. Now, today, looking at something that could have been made one of the most glorious things. If Malcolm had died a natural death while he was with me and my followers, we would have given him one of the most glorious burials. We would have stood at his body and would have prayed over it with tears of grief in our eyes for the departure of one that has with us and lived with us and his communication was sweet with us. We would not have standing room around his grave tomorrow. But it's just the opposite. On a one for big commission. To stand even beside the grave of a hypocrite. He would say a good word for his wife because she was with him. Right. And she still has not declared herself teaching his best teaching. That's right. If she had declared that she was forced to remain with him due to the support of her children, this would have been very good. We could have stood here spoke good words for her. We could go and get her home for her. We could take care of her children. But no, she did nothing. Conflict, but Elijah Muhammad should be killed. It is an outright injustice. I'm here in Chicago last Sunday. The husband was here. Now, I should be killed for his death. You are crazy folks. the very man that taught him all he knew. And the man that first sent him to Africa, abroad, for him to see what Muslim looked like in foreign land. It was me, Elijah Muhammad. That deed is way over there. Next time he goes back there to destroy the things over there. That was for Elijah. Like Israelites. Accusing them some of the most serious thing that a man could be accused of. And taking two women on his side to help. And then goes and seeks a white lawyer to help. To bring him into court. He boldly said that on this video show and block. Yes, sir. And even William, that's the name, Jerry Williams, he also asked Malcolm, he said, you think you could do that, Malcolm? He said, I think so. I was listening. Now, a man like that, and you come out and kill me, who have taken a people, stripped them of that evil, stripped them of evil and worked with me, stripped them of that old self, washed them up. And internally. Give them a name that shall live forever. Make them to be able to go and stand before any people on the face of the earth. Represent themselves as being morally, spiritually, and equal. Taking the poison of meat out of their mouth. Taking whiskey out of their mouth. Taking dope out of their mouth. Make them respectful people. And you see them walking all over America today. Every city and town you will find where Elijah is from. That's the language out of their mouth. You don't find them cussing and swearing at each other. Make them to run with outstretched arms. I can give them like brothers, like twins. When they meet each other, they hug each other and kiss each other with their love. Of the salvation of God in the nation of Islam. Of swearing at each other when they meet. Speaking that's the language. The mouth and the heart now is clear. Of persuasion. The woman that was standing on the floor of the ballroom. Put it on the clothes to show the nation of kings. Walking around today looking like an angel. This is the way to be like.
Now you heard him boasting that his followers don't have no filthy language coming out their mouth. You don't hear me speaking filthy language to you.
No.
He took all of that away from us. You see me putting clothes on our women, and I encourage you to help me to do that. So how can those who claim they believed in him turn me down? They're lying. The hypocrites are surely liars. How do they let me get away if they say I'm teaching other than the truth and I don't offer them $20,000? How they let me get away with saying, if you're not submitting to me, you're not a Muslim? If that's not the truth, they could get the money. Isn't that a strange thing? A man stand up and say, you're not a Muslim if you don't submit to him. You know why they don't say nothing? Because they done found out that I'm just like Mr. Spock on that. I don't bluff. If I said it, I can prove it. Muslim means one who submits. To do the will of God. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. The Holy Quran closes by telling you to seek refuge in me. The Lord of men, the King of men, the God of men. So, what? So you don't hear nothing from nobody now, right? Now, who got some questions? Now, this is your chance. You know they keep talking about, well, I could ask him some questions, but he ain't gonna let me talk. You lying. It's just like this morning when the brother come in there suggesting that religion we don't need. And he would. He didn't answer the sister when she asked him, well, what are you? Are you a, let me see, what did she call him? She asked him, was he a evolutionist? What do you believe in? And he talking about, I am. What do you mean I am? Now you borrowing from the book that you said ain't no good? You know, that's what God told Moses when Moses asked him, who shall I tell him sent me? He said, tell him I am have sent you. Huh? So that's what he said. He said, I am. I knew he wasn't going to call in. You know, I was hoping he'd call and defend his position because he was offended at me for saying that, look, you run around here, you quote a lot of things that you have read in some book, some white man or some Negro that's been taught by white people. You quote what you heard them say without having any proof that it's true. That's what they taught us to do. In school, they taught us to believe whatever we read in a book. They didn't say it like that, but that's how we took it. They taught us to give the answer that the book gave. And that's why when we be arguing, we say, well, the book says such and so and such and so and so. And then we said, show it to me. And then we go in there and look at it and say, yeah, that's what he say. And we act like that book was some divine revelation or something. Didn't realize that was just another fellow wrote that. Another man wrote that, and he wasn't divine. But, you know, we were taught to just believe what we are told. We weren't taught anything. That's why we live in poverty from one generation to the next, because they never taught us how to think. They told us what to think.
Yes.
And that's why we always wind up, no matter who you wind up getting behind in the leadership, other than myself and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you always wind up getting behind somebody who leads you right back to beg white people. For instance, you want justice. You go begging white people for justice. You don't get justice from other people. You get justice by what you do. Justice is a reward that you get from your labor.
Yes.
You shall find rest in your labor. But you go begging white people. It's like when the brother, Minister Farrakhan out there to my justice or else. You don't get no justice by marching. You get justice, not the justice you want. You want freedom and justice and equality. Actually, we've been getting justice. We don't do nothing, so we ain't got nothing.
Yes.
When you unite, pool your resources, and work together, then you will get the justice of that will bring you. You will soon have your own communities, and you will have your own businesses, and you will have your own manufacturers, and all of that kind of thing when you decide to start getting together and working together for your own good. Since you don't do that, justice dictates the condition that you are in. Because Allah is the truth. And Allah will not change your condition until you change your condition. Allah is not our slave. We are his servants. Allah is the truth. When you act on the truth, you serve the truth, and the truth serves you then by bringing you what you were seeking. And then when through the truth, when you gain your independence, when you gain respectability, when you gain self-respect, then you will say, oh, praise is due to Allah.
Yes.
You see? Now you have the best knower of how to get all of that standing here talking to you. And you resent me for even telling you that I'm that. It didn't never cross your mind. Well, he said he is, and I'm going to try him. But you jumped on buses and spent a whole bunch of money. How much money was spent just to go stand around and listen to them talk about the Washington Monument? How many buses was chartered? Then got there and gave up boxes of money. What was done with the money? Then you come in here and insult me because I had what you call the audacity to ask, what was all the purpose of that? What was that for? What did you gain? You gain nothing. You go from one generation to the next, passing on to our young people nothing but poverty. Then you wonder why they go and leave. The first thing they say, I'll be glad when I get grown, I'm going to get out of this old nasty place. What you going to do? Tell them, stay here with me in filth? Stay here with us? And no. You don't know what to tell them, and you don't want to let them listen to me. Every school that black people is in charge of should be inviting me to come speak to their children. You can't claim that you can't afford it because I don't charge no honorarium to come speak to my own people. I ain't even asked you for no gas money. Not only should you be inviting me to speak to them young people, you should be bringing them young people and showing them what their fathers are doing. I think about the fact that when we opened up that bakery, we didn't even have a person who really understood baking. I had brothers that come here that were were running the temple bakeries when the messenger was here. You know, they refused to come here and help me. These is people that I used to think were my brothers. They hate me just that much. And I don't think it just started either. I think it was going on. They saw me from whence I saw them not a long time ago. Now I'll fix you. You just mark my word. I'm going to fix every one of you. Should have been here helping me. Instead, I mean, one of them even tried to charge me $25,000 for a bean pie recipe. They ain't got nerve enough to be talking about they was following the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And you know, you don't want to get me started. I could tell you some things. Anyway, time to ran out. I know you're glad, ain't you? So,
You have a question?
Yes.
Correct. Guitar?
Yes.
Yes. What is the mark of the beast in Revelation and the symbol on the hand?
The mark of the beast is as I've taught on that so many times. You look at, what are you looking at when you have writing on paper? You have marks on paper. And depending on who the author is, that is who that mark is of. And in the case of us in America here, the white man enslaved us and treated us not like human beings should treat each other. He treated us like beasts would treat you. And so he's called the beast. And he's not just called the beast because of his mistreatment of us. He's called that because when it comes to the word of God, he has as much understanding of the Holy Scriptures as a horse has of an English book. And so he's on the level of beasts compared to the prophets. And so he caused all, small and great, rich and poor. This is in Revelation, the 13th chapter, and let's start at this is the 13th chapter of Revelation, and we'll start at this is the 16th verse. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand, or in other words, in their forehead. For your brain is the right hand member of your body. It's the most important member of the body, for without the brain, you are nothing but a vegetable. And so the brain is the right hand member. And so when it says, that's why it says, just like when you say, I have 2 50-cent pieces or $1. Well, you are saying that, in other words, I have $1, even though you call it 2 50-cent pieces at first. Where it says they receive, he caused all, both small and great, rich and bond, free and bond, rich and poor, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, where is your brain located? It's inside your forehead, right? Okay. Now, when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad tried to first started setting up universities of Islam, it was against the law to teach your children at home. You had to be taught in the schools of white people. He caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive his education. A mark, or his marks, his writings, his books, in their forehead, meaning you had to go to his schools. And then it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast. You had to be a Caucasian, or you had to have his education and his that number, that social security number. Even right now, when you go to work, you have to have that social security number to be able to work and do things in his country. And it says, no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And so that is what you had to have, and what you still, in America, that social security number follows you from the time you were born to the time you die. And that social security number is the number of his name. And that number is, his name is CAU-CA-SIAN, Caucasian. And that's how it's spelled, that's how it's broken up in the dictionary. And then you look at that social security number is 554-91-9927. But that's the number of his name. Do you understand? Now you notice he ain't saying nothing. And he know I couldn't know this unless I was who I'm telling you I am. Do you understand? And so it says, and so that is the mark of the beast is his education and his books. As you notice, writing is not, most people, they never realize that they have never actually seen a word. A child thinks that they're looking at words on paper here. The adult mind knows that they are not looking at words. They are looking at symbols that represent words. They're looking at marks on paper. If you don't believe it, look at your Holy Quran and look at the Arabic writing. What did it look like? Marks on paper. Well, that's all writing is. It's just marks that you make on paper. You know, it's just like the white man, he used to, in the Western days, he used to say, okay, make your mark. What does that mean? Sign your name. However you sign it. And so that was I've taught on that so many times. I thought by now everybody was on the same page as me on there. Any more questions? Well then, I'm going to let you go. And may Allah bless us all and keep us safe and in our right minds. And I want you to understand something. You who running around here thinking that you need to kill white people, you wrong. White people ain't did nothing to you. The devil in them is what did that to you. And the devil in you now is what's making you do it to yourself. I'm here to cast the devil out. And the devil was cast out. So now, you know, the body is just a form. It's a temple, a house. If you see something and if you see wrongdoing going on in the house, they may be dealing drugs or something out of there. Maybe having prostitutes and stuff going on in there. The authorities don't go and burn the house down. They go and kick them people out of there that's doing that. They arrest them and then put the house up for sale. And somebody get in there and, you know, clean that house up, and you'll never know that it used to be used for that. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad showed us that. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad took the woman that, as he said, used to be in the ballroom and pulling off half her clothes and walking out up and down the street as a prostitute and doing some of everything. And he took that same woman and changed her mind and put long garments on them, and you never knew unless if she moved to another state, you'd have never known she was what she used to do, because she didn't do that no more. Do you understand? It's not flesh that's guilty of doing evil. It is the mind that's in the flesh that's guilty of forcing the flesh to do evil. Let me help you. Let me change your mind. Then you don't have to be destroyed. You know, it's kind of like a house that's got a few termites in it that the Orkin man or the pest control people, the red pests or some of those people, they come there and they inspect your house and they say, yeah, we can deal with this. Huh? And they kill them. They get them out your house and save your house. Now, sometimes they may look at it and say, well, it ain't too much you can do. They're all in your walls. They're all in your main beams and everything. It ain't much you gonna do with this house. It's, just well tear it down. It ain't worth saving. So if you got so much wicked mind in you that it's just done ruined you, well, you just gonna have to be destroyed. Ain't nothing I can do about that. But if you can stand and listen to me for 3 and 4 hours at a time, and you know how you started off listening to me, you couldn't agree with what I was saying, but you kept listening, and you noticed you started changing. Well, that's because I was casting the devil out. See, that's what truth does. It casts out falsehood. It casts out the devil. What is the devil? He's a deviser of illusion. What is falsehood? Illusion. A mind that is built up on falsehood is a mind that's making you see things the wrong way, making you see what's not true. That's one of your devils. I'm here to cast that out and replace it with the truth. Do you understand? Okay. So you come to class. When I'm teaching, you be in class. Tomorrow, you go on and have prayer. And don't look for me in the room, because I won't be able to come into the room with you tomorrow for prayer service. So you just go on and skip that and just have prayer on your own. And then if it pleases Allah, I will talk with you again Sunday, and we will teach you some more. Now, any more questions? Then may Allah bless us and keep us safe and in our right minds. May Allah. Assalamu alaikum.
Your conference recording